Public Space Travel is a leftist, anti-capitalist podcast of disgruntled academics, video gamers, and friends. Our belief is that knowledge should be made more accessible and be used for anti-oppression and non-hierarchical revolutionary ends. You can support what we do at patreon.com/public space travel and reach out to us at publicspacetravel@gmail.com or leave us a voicemail at 208-502-1406. Now, on to the show.
Public space travel. Public space travel. And so on and so on.
I can't help but believe that in the future we'll see throughout the world an increasing trend toward the next logical step. We'll achieve full communism.
Public space travel. Public space travel. And so on and so on.
You want to just do 53-0?
Yeah.
Okay.
That time for you.
Oh, I was early.
Uh-oh.
Oop. Okay.
Should we do it again?
Let's
Or is
do
it good?
15. 15?
Okay. I'll wait till I see it.
Got him. This
All right,
is high
that's a wrap.
quality.
It's like as soon as this starts, we're all like, shh.
It's a weird. It's really
High
weird.
stress.
I don't know why I feel we've. This is like what we've done 13 episodes. I still don't feel comfortable when we started.
I've only done a few too. I feel like I'm still, the anxiety is high. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Even just in this last what we just recorded, like there's part where I'm like, should I say something? I don't know. There might like palpitations getting going and stuff.
It's amazing
Yeah.
the imaginary audience. Like I record a couple lectures for my class,
Right.
and as soon as I start, I'm like, ooh, like I feel a little more stressed than I did 1 second ago, and no one is in the room. Like, but
Yeah.
it's real.
It's like interesting. I wonder, like, I try to listen now more to like professional, but like podcasters who have been doing it for a while and listening to their voice and their cadence and how, like, try to dissect like how they choose to talk, knowing that it's either just them or just them and like one other person or something like that. But also knowing that, you know, other people are going to listen. Because one of the things, I think we're starting to do this, where when we start the episode, we introduce ourselves and we say hello. But we haven't, but I don't know if I don't consciously try to do that, but I know that's something we should do because then the listener can connect the voice to the name.
Yeah.
But we never thought about that for a long time.
Yeah.
Just like these small little things, and then I always just get nervous I'm gonna sound stupid.
At least it's not live.
I know.
What blows my mind is like, there's at least one podcast I listen to that's like, they do it live, they stream it, and it's just like barely any editing when it comes down to it.
Wow.
Because it's crazy to me. But I guess it's just like
There's
doing it for a long time and then get comfortable with it. So
Yeah.
That's probably it too. Because there's another podcast I listen to where they do it live. They don't stream it live, but they don't do any editing at all, and they have a live band.
Oh.
wow.
Whoa.
Yeah, and
Oh, go ahead.
well, then like they'll make jokes like, "Oh, edit this part out," but they never do.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, that's happened.
Uh-oh.
That's happened in the show before.
I feel like listeners like it though. Like as a listener, I love it when it just feels real. Like we should just include this at the beginning of it.
Yeah,
We hear you. Yeah.
I think so too. That's what I try to tell myself too. It's just, you know, people want to connect with you, and like if it's because the other angle is you go in the hyper polished route where it's like serial.
Yeah.
Or the daily, and you have, you know, like sound production for like different sound scores for different segments and all that kind of stuff. And ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah.
The technology does exist, though. You're just like inserting that kind of stuff like live.
Yes. Yeah,
It's too much pressure.
Yeah.
we could do daily show stuff. I do want to get a board for doing stuff, but then it might get too zany.
I like it.
Corona.
Oh no!
Don't cough in front of us.
This is it. I'm doing it through the Zoom.
It's the Rona.
I feel so self-conscious coughing anytime now, like in public.
Yeah.
Which I'm not ever in anymore. But like if I'm on the sidewalk, I'm like, oh, don't cough till you get home. Like,
hold it in.
Don't cough till you
hold
get
it in.
Keep it in.
When I get home, I'm like,
you're like,
actually, now I have to cough. It's like seeing someone yawn.
Don't cough. Don't do it.
I've been having
Too.
I've been having some allergies. And
Yeah.
when I go to the grocery store, I'm just like, just don't.
Don't let them see.
I just shouldn't have an episode right now.
You might be able to cut the line when you're shopping.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Everyone
Can
will
you pass me
clear out. You want 6
the
feet?
Tic Tacs?
I saw.
yeah. Maybe they'll kick you out and you have to pay.
Maybe. I saw this
I
meme.
thought about that with getting pulled over. Oh, go ahead.
Of getting pulled over. I just saw a meme where it was someone holding a sign and it was like, I'm not coughing because I have corona. I just smoked weed. Just hold it up. But yeah, getting pulled over, just start coughing.
You're like, officer.
Perfect.
Here's my ID. Yeah. Hold on. Can you understand me better with the mask up? Hold on. Hey.
Yeah, and then you go, oh, I'm sorry. It's not corona. I just have allergies, I think.
Anyway,
here's
I
my
have
ID.
fever. I guess I do feel a little fever.
Now that you mention it, I may faint a bit.
Yeah. It's interesting, the excuses. There's also a hard excuse to bail on like planned meetings and classes and stuff. Because I skipped my class last week and then I realized normally I would say that I was sick. I don't want to tell them I'm sick because they're going to think I have corona. Or they'll be like, if you're just a little sick, just Zoom in. And I was like, I can't tell them I have other plans. So I just said I had tech issues. I guess that's the go-to. Yeah.
I said I have need to take a self-care day, and then I had a student reach out and was like, "Thank you. I needed that. I did a self-care day. I did tea. I did yoga. I meditated. I was so productive. Thank you so much." And I'm like, "Wow, I just like I didn't get dressed and I played video games. Like, damn."
They're better at being unproductive. They're more productive at being unproductive.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've also
There are some people who... Oh, no, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, my partner was like, just don't give an excuse. Like, they aren't even going to notice you weren't there. Like, just, why do you have to give an excuse? Which was, anyway.
You're like, hurtful?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's hard to... What was... There was like a meme where, or something where it's like, I miss canceling on my friends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, you could cancel a Zoom. Like, there are still ways to flake, I think, if you try hard enough.
Yeah.
I just don't think you can be grounded, though.
You can what?
You can't really be grounded now.
Yeah.
I guess you can. But.
What does that mean? Like, yeah, they'll have to, like, save it up.
Oh, like if they're like... Oh, like if your parents are like, you're grounded, and you're like, what does that mean? You're like, no internet. And you're like, but I have class. And they're like, okay, only some... Fuck. Damn it.
And then, like, during class, you're just like, open up that Firefox browser.
Firefox.
Mm-hmm. Private window and play my
Incognito.
Flash video games.
Did you see there's like a meme going around about like some class is having like their final and it's not open notes, not open book, you know, and it's on an honor system. And the meme is just like, they really think that none of us are going to like not use the book and it's online. And it's just like,
I've been watching this drummer on YouTube who has a channel where he he's a drum teacher, and he just goes and dissects drum videos. And so, you know, he has like the video in question over here in the corner, then like he's right here and he's just reacting, watching it. And someone left a comment and they're like, oh, typical teacher left the mouse cursor on the pause button in the video.
Oh no.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Bernie.
Yeah. It was a sad day last week for
Yeah,
some.
it's like you can see it coming and know it's going to happen. And it wasn't until I saw that he had dropped out that I had to like confront the little shard of hope that I had never let go of, I think. Like, and then it's still there. But sad day.
Yeah. Super sad. I think it hit me. I think I had a delayed reaction to it because the next day, I think it was the next day, which was Thursday. Was it Wednesday when he dropped out?
That's right.
Okay, so today's Saturday. Wednesday when he dropped out. So Thursday he put on his Twitter. He released like a small like 2-minute video, like you know, some kind of like it was like an inspirational video of some of it was clips from his speech that he gave when he announced that he was dropping out. Him saying, you know, things about how, you know, the fight still continues and this wasn't really about him, it was about us and this whole thing. And there's like a lot of clips. It's like slow motion. It's very sentimental. And I actually cried when I watched it. Like I was like working and I found the video and I watched it and I was like, I need a break.
Yeah.
This is so sad. Because it's a huge bummer, but also he's still in the race?
Yeah.
I don't understand. I still don't get that.
Oh, like he's officially still
He's
in
on the
race?
ballot still.
Yeah, he just suspended the campaign. He didn't.
Oh.
It wasn't like officially dropping out because he's
Banking on Biden dying from corona.
That's what I'm
Is
doing.
that what it is?
He wants to, like, he's staying on the ballot just so he can still potentially get more delegates, and keep the delegates, I guess. I don't know exactly how that works, but keep the delegates he has and then have some more sway when it comes to the convention.
And swag.
And swag, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so he has more sway in the convention and hopefully can. I don't really know exactly how it works.
Yeah,
Because
I'm still.
he's not going to be the nominee, or like, but I don't know like how much delegate numbers then play into like, I guess, potential policy considerations or something. Is
it
I'm not
like
really sure.
kind of holding the DNC like platform a little hostage? Is that what essentially is going on here?
Maybe, I don't know. I guess like it could be, you know, having the numbers to point to and be like, this is look how big, how much of the electorate is like once these sorts of things that I was pushing forward. So I don't know.
You just need him to go full Comrade Bernie.
Yeah, I was thinking about that actually, just this morning about, you know, I feel like he did virtually everything right. There's a lot of stuff to be said about how like he was like too nice. You know, he made a mistake when he said that Biden was his friend. Stuff like this, but I do think at the end of the day that like it's almost very like Dalai Lama-ish, because he like really practiced the whole like compassionate, love your neighbors, and like I'm speaking about him as if he's dead, but like he like, you know, turn the other cheek. Like the way he reacted to people attacking him in the most vicious way is like, I couldn't do that. I don't know a lot of people who could be able to maintain their composure and still be able to maintain cogent thoughts and speak clearly about real issues while being attacked and smeared and all these things, and then still turn to the asshole who is doing all these things and go, hey buddy, and like that's it. And it's like, wow, like how do you get there? How do you get to the point where you can just be cool with a person that is fundamentally a mortal enemy? I don't know if I'm being hyperbolic there, but
No.
A rapist? I don't know.
Yeah.
How do you like maintain your dignity and your composure? How are you able to check your ego in such a way where you're able to just, like, I can't even find videos where he slips up and goes like even under his breath like motherfuck.
Yeah.
Or like anything like that. Like anything that would be justifiable and a reasonable response for all of like me, rest of the people. He was just like, no, I'm a nice guy. I don't know. It's just it's admirable, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting, and I think in a way it kind of shows us that I'm trying to figure out like how to say it. Like, do we want to elect someone through this fucked up system? Like, I think it shows that maybe someone like him and someone who like could really make radical change, like that's not the way it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Which is tough because like I want it to happen, but like in a way I like that he didn't conform to, I don't know, like, I mean, in feminisms, you don't have to be masculine and hyper masculine to be a feminist. Like, he didn't put on the mask in order to win. Like,
Yeah.
so
like he didn't play the game.
yeah, like I love people who don't play the game well, like in academia. Like,
Yeah.
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 I think there was. Oh no, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I do think, I agree with you all. And I do think he set up a really excellent kind of like socialist network for our generation, speaking like as a millennial and probably younger, to potentially like utilize for like social change, like within the electoral system, but also hopefully it'll be a driving force for more social protests, more critical like consciousness and awareness. Because I agree, as much as we want to do like the, I guess you could say like normal method or like path of least resistance, like through electoral system, which I'd argue is actually like the path of most resistance because the system doesn't, you know what I mean? It's like, it's so stacked against you. Like, I don't know, for me, like it reaffirms like personally, like the electoral, like you're not going to be able to vote the power elite to give up their power. At the same time, hopefully this was like a really great example for everyone that like, we gotta like do more political, like social, like action, direct action, mutual aid, community, etc.
Yeah, like especially with in the wake of this pandemic, like and all of the structural weaknesses and shortcomings that it highlights and have been, I mean, shit's just like falling apart in a lot of ways.
What are you talking about? We have the greatest system. It's the biggest system. It's so great.
that's a pretty good accent.
What is the problem?
Or a pretty good, what's the word I'm looking for?
Thanks. I have the greatest accent. It's sort of the best. I've got the hand motions and everything.
Just a quick side note. I hate how he does this hand, like, if you can, the listener, like it's like palms out away. I hate this so much because I feel like it subconsciously tells you, don't hurt me, I'm an innocent.
Oh, yeah. Impression. Sorry. That's the word I was
He's putting the wall up. He's building that wall
He's always at it.
between himself and everyone else.
Yep.
Like, because everything he, like when he talks, he does this so often. I feel like it's a subconscious move to trick our lizard brains into being like, oh, look at that poor innocent man.
Honestly, though, like, maybe, because his supporters sure see him as a victim. Yeah.
Just to be clear, if anyone is confused, we're talking about Trump now, not
Bernie. That's true.
I don't think I could do a Bernie voice. I don't think I could do that.
Yeah. No one should try.
How did they get good at it? Yeah. I was thinking about trying it.
No, nobody should try.
It's undoable.
I mean, I don't know. Let's not. I also don't want to like raise him up into like this Jesus.
Yeah,
figure or
that's
something.
true. And he's not perfect in so many ways. Yeah.
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 Don't talk about my grandpa like that. He is perfect.
And he's perfect with that eye patch and that.
I know. Look at him go.
In your,
Damn.
In your
But
background.
that is
you
a
have there.
point that, do you think that just his stark contrast from everyone else has made it harder to critique him, or has like dampened the critiques that would be very valid and important to make? Like should we be critiquing Bernie right now, or like how should we talk about
I think we
this?
should. I think maybe personally, like, we should always critique everybody. Like, I don't think anything should be like sacrosanct, and we should like not, like nothing should be sacred in that sense. But we should also affirm like the positives in this. I think the emphasis here is, at least for me, the emphasis I see is like he did a lot to set up future generations in understanding like the American socialism as we know it, and that getting the youth more comfortable with it and bringing the attention to that look, the rest of the world has these systems in place that you could call them welfare, whatever you want, like you put it derogatory, but these are things that provide basic human rights, like necessities that everybody needs. And these other countries are able to do it. And the reason that this country is so fucking rich is because we don't have that shit in place, and the power elite get to hold on to their money, and we're just like this hyper capitalist, like, don't tax me because it's a fucking like crime, like bullshit. But I don't know. Bernie has like done a lot, I think, in combating that and also bringing it to the arena, which I mean, I do have, I want to say little faith, but like minimal or little faith in like the electoral system at large. But like, it would be cool if like AOC like ran when she could, or like I would personally want like a person of color who's like very radical, like Ilhan Omar, or like I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Like, but at the same time, like I'm also like, and this is like kind of where I'm coming background wise, like as an anarchist, I don't think the state can ever, I don't think states are able to like provide solutions for diverse communities. And I think instead it tries to like build these hierarchical and also like attempts at like universal solutions across the board. And in doing so, we get like these things. And you're also like taking your like community's political power out of your like the direct hands and into somebody else, which makes the decisions for you without like your like consent and autonomy. Like, do you know what I'm going with that? So, but that's just me. That's just like my anarchist take on this.
Yeah. Just the Democratic Socialists of America party in June 2016 had 6,500 members. The last recording that I can see in 2018 is 49,000 members. I think what we were saying before, like there is a lot to be said about the growth in leftist thinking in mainstream America. Like there's a lot of what used to be taboo subjects that are now like no longer off limits to have discussions with people. Like the fact that you have, I think like it's a win that even to have people like Whoopi Goldberg and everyone on The View to even be forced to even talk about it, even though they were scummy in how they addressed it. Like just the way, I say scummy, I've actually never used that word before, but it's just like when I watched the video of how they interviewed, how Whoopi like quote unquote interviewed Bernie, it was just such like bad faith. Like it was so like I didn't like care about Whoopi Goldberg, but then when I saw that video, I was like, that is just so unnecessarily showing your true colors in a way that is just disgusting.
Can you give a really quick, I didn't
ugly.
watch it, and I know like readers might not or viewers might not have watched it. What did they do?
if I can recall, so she started off the conversation by asking Bernie if he was still going to remain in the race, just like he stayed in the race in 2016. And she framed it in a way where she was basically blaming him for Hillary not winning because he stayed in the race for too long. And she was very like aggressively pushing that question for like, so are you still going to stay in the race like you planned to last time? Like, you're just going to keep going with this now? Is that your thing? And Bernie responds with, last time, he says almost literally, he says, well, last I checked, this is a democracy and people have a right to hear different opinions and make decisions based off of what they feel is right. And then even with that response, she still was like, so you're saying that you are going to stay in the race? And he's like, yes, I just said that. And she's like, okay, well, just checking. And then just kind of like moves on to another topic that like, it was just so obviously like she was trying to just bully and not having like a real discussion with this person. And it was just so absurd. It was just like, it was like the liberal elite at like full. Oh, you have the video here? Should we play this video?
Do we want to watch this? And we could pause it intermittently if you want to talk. I'll share the link to you, Mark.
Well, let me just finish this thought real fast.
Yeah.
The thing I wanted to say is like the fact that because clearly, like the liberal elite, such as like Whoopi Goldberg and them and the likes, they don't like socialism because they are capitalists and everything. But the fact that they even had to address this and talk about it on their show and make other people have to think about it, I think that's a step in the right direction, and it's nice to see them squirm a bit.
Yeah, I agree.
I have to ask you this question now because I've been watching to see what you were going to do, and I'm told that you intend to stay in this race for president because you believe there is a path to victory. I want to know what that path is, because this feels a little bit like it did when you didn't come out when Hillary Clinton was clearly the person folks were going for. So can you explain why you're still in the race and what this path is that you see?
One of the reasons, that's not quite accurate. I worked as hard as I could for Hillary Clinton. But the reason there is a path
Bernie, just so we're clear, you worked for Hillary, but it took you a very, very long time to hop in, and your people also. It took a very long time for them to hop in. So when I say that, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, well, I don't accept that characterization, but the point is, people have a right.
Why are you still in the race?
People have a right. Last I heard, people in a democracy have a right to vote, and they have a right to vote for the agenda that they think can work for America, especially in this very, very difficult moment. We are assessing our campaign, as a matter of fact, where we want to go forward. But people in a democracy do have a right to vote. And right now, in this unprecedented moment in American history, I think we need to have a very serious discussion about how we go forward. And one of the things that I am working on with other members of the Senate and Congress is a new stimulus package, which not only makes sure that all of our people in this crisis have health care, but also that they continue to receive their paycheck. We have got to understand where we are at. And right now is April 1st. It is likely possible there are millions of people who cannot pay their rent, cannot pay their mortgage.
Yes. But wouldn't it be smarter for you to continue on that path to make sure that gets done?
Well, we are doing it. Believe me, I am doing it. Our nature of I'm sitting in my house right now. I'm not holding a rally in Wisconsin because of the nature of campaigns. But right now, what I am primarily focusing on with other members of the Congress is a new what we call a coronavirus 4 stimulus package, which will guarantee that every worker in America continues to receive his or her paycheck, that states and cities get the kind of revenue they need to maintain their payroll and take care of the work that they have got to do. What I am very worried about
So your
is
plan
that
is to
people cannot
stay in,
afford
yes?
I
plan
just
is to
said that we are well, for the fourth time.
You're assessing.
We are assessing.
Okay. All right.
We are assessing our
Very
campaign.
good. Sarah, you have a question.
It kind of reminds me of like on Fox News, like when, like when they interview, what's this guy's who's like, fuck it, we'll do it live. What's his name?
O'Reilly.
Is it Bill?
Yeah,
O'Reilly?
like the O'Reilly factor, like those kind of shows where they kind of like interrupt constantly.
Yeah.
It's like
It's very Fox Newsy.
Okay, so he's like with the whole pandemic going on, like the
Where's Joe Biden?
only campaign emails that I got from Bernie's campaign in the last, I mean, barring the one where he said he's suspending his campaign, the only ones that I've gotten were not give to our campaign. It was, here are charities you can give to. Here are, it was like at least 4 of them, 4 emails with each like at least like 5 or so charities that help people who are affected economically, or helping like the doctors and all that out. Like the like I don't know, like what some of the stuff she was saying to him about like, oh, you're staying in, and oh, shouldn't you be helping getting the stimulus stuff together? And it's like, well, he was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he had already basically like put his campaigning on hold and was like, hey, if you can help, like here are some organizations like that we found that we think are worthy of and will actually help if you put money towards this, instead of like give us more money so we can continue to campaign. So it's like just ridiculous, the kind of bullshit that she was basically.
He had a very, when the New York Times did their like interview of each of the candidates before they made their pick of who they thought would win, or I forgot what it was, but like they on Hulu at least, there was like things like the New York Times, they interviewed all the candidates and they interviewed Bernie Sanders, and then they asked him a question of like what his main focus was as a going into trying to become president, and what his main campaign was focused around or whatever. And then he just said, oh, I reject the idea that I have to have a main focus because I think the American people can walk and chew bubblegum at the same time. Like, he exactly said that, and I love that phrase. Like, I never heard anyone say that before, but I was like, yeah, you can. That's, yes, of course. Why does it have to be either or all the time?
Right. And I mean, I think that's so true too, to just talk about like almost rank. I mean, sometimes priorities, sure, but they're all so connected. Like, I don't understand this siloing of issues sometimes.
Yeah, and it's when Whoopi Goldberg was talking with Sanders and really like pushing at him to answer that question. You know, why are you staying in? Why are you staying in? I was thinking like, what isn't being questioned, and basically what the default that's kind of going on here is like, there's no like, why was it the case that not also like questioning like what the hell Biden is doing and what is he doing for like the stimulus package at the same time? I think the reply would be like, oh, because he's ahead in number of delegates, but like, what is he doing like for that stimulus package? And meanwhile, Joe Biden is at his home. He started his own podcast and is fucking talking about peanut butter jelly and sandwiches and fig Newtons.
What?
Like, really? That's what the fuck he's doing right now? Like, come on, Jack.
Oh wait, did you not know about this either? Lichen?
No, I did not know about his PB&J podcast.
Oh my god.
Have you heard any of it yet?
Can we get the clip up?
Yeah, I want to hear this. I guess I do. I don't.
I actually haven't. Yeah, I actually haven't heard it either. But there's like a little 40. Oh,
just real fast. Like another like argument that I've heard of like why Biden wasn't doing anything is like, oh well, he's not currently in office with anything, and it's like where Sanders is a senator still.
but But
like he's running for
yeah,
he's
and he
running for
arguably has
president. Like, shouldn't he try and display leadership qualities and all that? Like,
and he held the vice president position.
Right.
Like, he's got the connects to like Obama and like other, you know what I mean?
No,
like
but
that's
see-
that's
oh,
some
but he's
bull-
on his
Until-
job right now, and it's like, well, what is the job he's trying to get?
Yeah, until you're elected into office, you don't do activist work. Like, there's no reason to try to make the world a better place until you've been put in a legitimate position of power.
Oh, because you're not getting the paycheck.
That's a good point.
so-
Yeah, exactly.
That's fair.
So why would you?
That's fair.
You know,
That's fair.
it's very fair.
Cool.
Here's
Cool.
I've actually
From
been
the
like
podcast,
trying
I
to think of the answer to this riddle, and I don't have it. It's probably something stupid.
It's what?
It's probably not going to be clever. It's just my hypothesis, but
Can you?
Oh wait, are you trying to figure out the answer to the riddle of what do Fig Newtons and PB&J sandwiches have in common?
yeah.
Gluten? Is that it? I don't like. Did they pay like? Did he get paid by Big Newton to like, or Big Jiffy to like answer this question?
Maybe.
Talk about it.
Big Jiffy.
Are Fig Newtons your favorite snack?
Well, they're among the favorite. You know why? They're small and I can sneak them. That you can buy little packs of them, and I get them on the on the planes when I fly back and forth. But the thing that everybody makes fun of me, that when in doubt, I have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. But I learned everybody was making fun of that, and I found out John Kerry has the same addiction: peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. But
Peanut butter jelly sandwiches.
Can
They're
we?
small and you can sneak them.
Yeah.
Bro, when you wait, you don't get Fig Newtons when you fly. What are you flying on? It's all about the Biscoff
Right?
cookies.
Who gets? Maybe he sneaks them onto the plane. Apparently.
Oh yeah, I sneak it through TSA, Jack.
Wow. Although actually, I'm someone who always has like snacks in my like purse or whatever. So
You always have a PBJ with you.
I have definitely had a full sandwich in my purse in the past because you never know.
Oh, nice.
You never know. But
That's true.
Can we as a society stop treating politicians as if they're like movie stars?
People.
yeah,
Like celebrities,
Yeah.
like this whole like celebrity thing. Like, who the fuck gives a shit
Yes.
about
Yeah.
his Fig Newton
Yes. Yeah.
habit or whatever?
Like I'm trying to put myself in the mindset of like I'm trying to put myself in the mindset of like somebody who is just like, man, did you hear that new Joe Biden podcast episode? Like wow, this guy so relatable. He's an awesome guy. He's
Right.
you know what? What's in my pocket? I got a Fig Newton. Look at me. Like,
I'm gonna be like Joe.
yeah.
Weird. They're small and you can sneak them. I'm still trying to figure out everything he meant by that.
Yeah, where do you put him?
He's actually doing a dog whistle for how to get away with rape.
Yeah, I was gonna say
There's
that sounds suspiciously rapey.
Ooh.
I can put my sandwich anywhere I want.
Got him.
We
Biden
know.
been called out.
We read
To be
between
fair-
the lines.
To be fair, like to connect all this together, this is what the 2020 election is going to be. Do you want a red rapist or do you want a blue rapist? That's really what it comes down to.
Well, that's that article
It's-
why Bernie didn't win. He did not sexually assault enough women, and by not like he didn't assault any. Bad move. Bad move.
It's a very simple decision, really. It's the red rapist or the blue rapist, much like how you choose a Fig Newton. There's different flavors.
Yeah. Or like Chips Ahoy, the red package or the blue package. And there are very
exactly.
straight camps, let me tell you.
This is very Matrixy now.
Yeah.
It's not a cookie. It's a Newton Neo.
I still haven't figured out what they have in common. Is it literally just that Joe Biden endorses both? Like,
I think.
He
Actually,
likes to sneak them both.
is that what it is?
I don't know. I guess.
because like I wanted an answer to this riddle and I'm disappointed. I don't think.
I think this is a great example. You're pointing out a great example as to like why Biden is not fit for office. Is that you'll ask him a question and he'll give you a whole other answer. It's nothing to do with the question. and he posed the question.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what's the most common of Fig Newton and PBJ. Goes off on tangent. I could sneak him, and John Kerry has an addiction to him like me.
That's all you need to know.
Why does this promotional in the video of the promotional says episode 2.
Oh.
Episode 2, Joe Biden chats with Governor Gretchen Whitmer on COVID-19 response. And then, the text belonging to this says, "What do Fig Newtons and peanut butter jelly sandwiches have in common?"
That's not a non sequitur. I also like how he loves ice cream, aviators, and Amtrak. If anyone asked me, like, what are 3 things you love? It'd probably be something like that, you know?
Amtrak's loving that shout out.
Oh, yeah, they are. So is Fig Newton.
Their stonks are through the roof.
Their stonks.
This is... now we're really going into a Twitter tangent here.
Oh, God.
There's this whole, like... Oh, yeah, it's Easter coming up, right? It's tomorrow? Is that
Tomorrow, that's right.
Everything's supposed to be open by
that's
tomorrow,
when
right?
Yeah, right, because we're saving we're saving America.
All right.
I was reading or something about I guess there's like Trump has been quoted as saying, "This has been the hardest decision I will ever have to make, whether I decide to reopen America now or later." And then someone was like, "You didn't even actually close it, though."
Don't give yourself so much credit, bruh. Yeah.
Yeah, like it was actually just the governors who did that individually in their own districts.
Telling
like
Trump
there's
he's not
actually
the center
no
of the
official.
world?
Yeah, there's actually been no official U.S. federal like stance on everything being closed down. Their only stance is to stay 6 feet apart, right? Like that's the only official stance. I think.
Well, I guess like
I just saw today that it's even like they're saying that it can spread even further than 6 feet.
Oh.
Yeah.
The CDC.
But I think like if you go to, I don't know, what were you gonna say, Marks?
I don't know. I was just gonna throw a fact out there, I guess.
Do it.
Unmasked, you can sneeze up to 27 feet.
Whoa.
So don't sneeze on people.
I was gonna say, I hope most people don't just like. How far will this one go?
You're just like, "Hi, is this Joe Biden's podcasting studio? Hey,
there you go.
Parody.
Yeah.
Yep.
We just joking.
We're just exploring bioterrorism as a research topic.
Oh.
We are intellectuals.
At the range of 27 feet.
I'm intellectually sneezing on you.
It's all science.
This has really gone off the rails. This is just all part of the process of the anger from not having Sanders in the race.
I mean, everyone.
Now we're like,
everyone has their own like grieving process for this, and you know.
I just want to bring it around and just say that, I guess to reiterate what we've already been saying, that this isn't the end for progressive policies or anything like that. It's like it's kind of like I'm not the kind of person who tends to look on the brighter side of things. I think my brain is more like I like to black pill as often as I can and you know, just be a doomer. It's just where my natural state. I climb out of it. I have my mechanisms for climbing out of it. But this is actually a situation where I don't have to do that, and I actually do believe that this isn't the end, and that if anything, the, you know, progressive and leftist ideologies and policies are, I kind of feel like it's a matter of time, to be honest, because the numbers are growing, the interest is growing, this virus is highlighting all of the injustices and all of the ways that the current system doesn't work, and unfortunately it's taken to this point. But I think the fact that people's lives are on the line in such a way where there is no direct enemy, no direct threat other than, oh, the only reason why I'm dying is because capitalism. Oh, okay, well, you know, and I think that's a discussion that people are having more and more now, and given So given the pandemic and given Bernie's popularity, his thoughts, socialism in general becoming more popular, this is, like I said, this is the one time where I don't have to actually climb out of a doomer pit, and I can say with my heart and say, this isn't the end, and we still have work to do, but it's not over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we're not locked in just through the election. Like, I think, like you're saying, that's important to remember, that it is not like every 4 years we get a little breather and then we're shoved back under. Like, no. We can.
Yeah, because there's a lot of, I know, like in my local area, I've been seeing there's a lot of socialists, like Democratic socialists, who are getting more and more into elected offices and things like that. And so it seems like, I guess like what people say, that sometimes like true change comes from local communities, not from overarching presidents and federal systems. It's the real change happens from the bottom up. And, if you can affect your local governments and your local communities, then that will have a wider impact than trying to win, like you said, every 4 years a president. So I don't know, it seems like there's a trend that is swinging towards the opposite direction, which unfortunately has the also opposite effect of the trend of people who don't like that responding more ferociously. Which is why, as the Soviets said, we have to remain vigilant.
And I think we should be inspired and be inspired by the mutual aid that is going on in our communities, because that's the actions that we'll see that will really carry us forward towards a better post-capitalist society. Whether it be, our healthcare workers in mutual aid risking, their lives at the front lines, as well as, all occupations, all workers. So vote for the Party for Socialism and Liberation, PSL. It's Gloria La Riva and Leonard Peltier for president and vice president, respectively.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Maybe we should talk about that from like what we think we're gonna do with our votes.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd like to hear what other people are doing.
Mm-hmm. I'm waiting for someone else to tell me what to think.
Yeah, that's my strategy. It's a great one.
No, I'm not going to vote for Biden.
Yeah,
I don't think I'm going to.
I'm just not going to do it.
I don't think I am either. No. I was determined to, and now I saw
someone like a friend of mine had posted something many months ago about that voting for someone is much like when you're on a bus and there's a stop coming up that's nearby where you have to be, but it's not right where you need to be. But you don't choose to not get off on the stop just because it's not right where you would need to be. And when I saw that, when she first posted it, I was like, yeah, I'll buy into that. But she posted it again, and now I'm like, well, things are a little bit different because now we have an accused rapist. Like I kind of draw a line. Like, yeah. When the stop is the stop that you can get raped at, I think that's worth avoiding that stop.
Yeah, and where the bus is just like, we don't even want it on this road anyway, so does it matter what stop we're at if it's on a terrible journey overall? Like, or why are we on the bus? Yeah. I don't want to be on the bus.
Yeah. And I hate the passengers that are just like, hey, it's choose between the lesser of the two evils. We can't have Trump again. Yeah. And I'm just like, the bus is on fire. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Like,
and then there's the accelerationists that are like, I'll help. I'm going to pour some gas on it. I could just go with this metaphor for a while. But.
And then Tom Cruise comes out and turns in the movie Speed, and then you can't go under 30 miles per hour.
I think it's Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, it is Keanu Reeves.
I hate to correct you, but actually, it's Keanu Reeves.
Oh, wow.
Who I have infinitely more respect for. So.
Oh, yeah.
Just because his name is Cruz.
Yeah,
think that
easy
think that's where the
mistake.
Classic
guy.
mistake.
Thanks for letting me on.
And we should really be saying Sandra Bullock because she was the badass driver. So
It's true.
don't remember her character's name or his. Did he even?
I don't even know if I've seen that movie. I've just heard it referenced so much that I know the premise and
It's solidly decent.
wasn't there a second one?
Yes.
There like a
There's
series?
three. There's like three, isn't there?
Really?
It's like Rocky 13, kind of like equivalent.
Do you want to watch? I mean, I have seen the second one,
Maybe
but that was a very long time. No, I have.
Oh, you have? Oh.
Yes. So I don't
Was it-
remember exactly
was it
the
like-
details, but basically it's the concept of Speed, the first Speed, but it's on a ship, like a cruise ship
Change
or
things
something.
up.
And it's Keanu Reeves again,
No.
and he's like,
No,
"Wait
he
a
was-
second, this
he
feels
was- I
familiar.
think-
Why does this keep happening to me?"
I think he was smart enough not to sign up for that.
He has settled down in a little white picket fence. He's living the quiet life.
Speed 2, Cruise Control.
Ooh. That's where Tom Cruise is. I think that's maybe that's it.
I think actually that's where his career really took off, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah? Wait, actually though?
No.
Oh, I was gonna say I don't think so.
Sandra Bullock though was in Speed 2.
Oh.
She's like, not again, no.
They're like, you
But
did so
Keanu
well the
Reeves-
first time.
Keanu Reeves said no.
Okay. Yeah.
He's like, what is that? The actor from Jurassic Park, the one who
Jeff Goldblum?
Yeah, like Jeff Goldblum when he returns to Jurassic Park and he's like, "Let me tell you what I went through.
Yeah.
Let me tell you kids." That's what she was. She was like, "Oh no, this is like that one time. I remember now."
It's like
Apparently this is
Jumanji. Like now you have to do it again.
Apparently this is my destiny, is to help people get through their their
They're unusual
speed
circumstances.
issue.
But yeah, this bus that we're on, man. Oh wait,
if the
so
bus stop-
did you're not voting for Biden? Is the
I don't think so. There's something like morally my conscience that like it just doesn't seem right. And then like I hear like the ghost echoes of like, yeah, but you're just enabling Trump. And I'm like, is that actually the case? Like, do I like for my own?
I think there's the danger of, and I like this is something that I've heard recently as well. Is like the danger is, especially because I think Biden's only trying to go for one term anyway. But there's the danger of, say he gets elected and then it kind of goes the same direction it seems to always go of not a lot gets done, and then we kind of it'll enable an even further right in 2024, even further right Republican or someone running to win because of like the incompetencies of the Democratic Party.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I think Noam Chomsky actually is in favor of voting for Joe Biden, but his full stance on it is something like it seems like with Joe Biden, we
Like
pretty
nothing will
much
happen.
get nothing, but we don't get destruction.
But we
Nothing, like,
will get destruction.
In this, yeah, I think to clarify, like the nothing, I think he meant like we'll probably get like a slight return to Obama, like stuff,
but
right?
it's
but nothing
exactly
meaningful.
It's exactly
Yeah,
that
It's
led
the
to
same
Trump, and then more of that
Exactly.
will just lead even further toward especially with populist, like this sort of populist style movement that led to Trump. Like it'll just even take it further to the right, and we'll have
a
Bolsonaro or a who's the lady, who's the woman,
Ivanka Trump?
If we're gonna build the a fucking Trump kingdom. No, I meant the there's a
Pierre?
South America.
I just had a thought. So what if the argument is not that, oh, if you don't vote for Trump, then Trump will win, or I mean, if you don't vote for Biden, then Trump will win. But what if that's not really the issue? What if it's the fact that we don't have like a universal like mail-in vote system? You know, like, what if it's the fact that it's not super fucking easy to vote is the actual reason why Trump will win, and not because we didn't vote for Biden?
Well, that's even part of just like how the DNC has treated elections anyways. There's tons of suppression, voter suppression, tons of
like voter ID laws and
yeah,
shit.
like, well, even in not the Wisconsin one, the one before that, like, you hear stories of like crazy long lines at voting places, and then someone was like, well, I have to go to work, I can't fucking stand in this line, and
right, it's
like, I have to, if I don't go to work right now, I'm going to lose my job, and this line's taking 8 hours to get through. Like, I can't even vote. And then it's just like they reduce the amount of polling places, and
that,
like,
that should be addressed.
No, that doesn't coincide with interest convergence. It doesn't protect the white.
Who runs the polls is the Democratic Party of each state. It's not like some universal system. It's done by the parties in power.
Yeah. I think, I mean, like with, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, like, I think so often we think the solution will work in the system. Like we think that we can solve climate change with capitalism. We think we can solve problems with Joe Biden. Like, I think it has to be, I don't think he would have a chance of winning anyway, but I think if we can go down showing that we don't support him, that would mean something.
I do agree with you, Marks, that there's like a component. I think there's a lot going on here in terms of like voter suppression.
Real fast, I wanted to clarify, like in this particular case I was talking about, it is the primaries that are handled by the parties specifically.
So no like voting holiday, no paid voting holiday, no like the gerrymandering and such. There's also no like tiered voting. So you can't pick like the party or person that you really do want, and then like your backup choice if it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I've heard like from more of like the moderate people that I'm in close contact with, like, oh, like Bernie's not electable, and like it's just the never Trump, like you just have to vote, and like third party is like equivalent to like not voting, or if you don't vote, like I don't want to hear it, like you should just shut up, basically. Like
there's, oh my god,
which is already like oh, okay, so much for democracy where you can put in your vote, right? Like it has to be a game of either A or B, and if you do C or anything else other than A or B, and obviously we don't want B, we want A, then
it's hard. And like, I mean, even in the last election, so many people I knew who did not vote for Hillary Clinton because they didn't like her. I was pissed. I was like, okay, that's a vote for Trump. Like you need to vote. And like in those 4 years, I think a lot of the reason that people didn't vote was just like, I don't like either one. But you are still like, I like to think of it like you're voting for something, whether you vote or not. But you can be very consciously voting for more social activism and more pushing against the Electoral College, like through not voting. So I think it's more than just that, like no voting means that you're apathetic.
I think there's two things going on here too. Like if, at least like rhetoric wise, if you're talking with somebody who's like very like America and rights and like veterans, you know, provide you these rights, you could always just drop the line of like, well, you know, like the veterans or whatever person in the family that's in the military, like you fought for the right to vote. And then also it means the right to not vote. So, you know what I mean? And you kind of like go down that rhetorical road. But I think another component to that, where am I going with this? No.
I hate it when that happens.
I'll just jump in real fast then. Like part of another reason like people might choose not to vote is like if you don't feel like either way is like, if they're not going to necessarily, they don't represent you. Like, you just don't feel like there is an actual option, even though there's two mainstream really like options of voting for or candidates to vote for, but like they don't like have you if they don't have Trump, if you not only don't feel but you know, like just based on history, like they don't represent you in any way. They don't have your interests in mind. Like, you kind of just feel like what's the point? Like, no matter who I vote for, like nothing's going to necessarily change.
You're speaking to my doomer heart.
I think a good way, like the way that I kind of see voting, like as a, like voting is obviously a political act, but like I think in some extent in our representational democracy, the way it's structured, you're giving up some of your political autonomy to somebody else who is going to make decisions and actions on your like behalf in a sense. And so like nobody's perfect. No one's going to align with you like 100% on your politics. And so like there is like a nuance of like how much of like considering that, how much of that do you want to like sacrifice to give some of your political like autonomy like to somebody? But I think this kind of ties back like in with the bus metaphor, like if you're on, if the society that you're in is a death cult and it's destroying the environment and it's exploiting people and it's perpetuating oppression, perpetuating racism, and you really do stand for social justice and everything that entails, and I mean that like wholeheartedly and substantively, there's a really, really fundamental like internal battle that everybody has to have about is voting for Biden or not voting or voting for a third party. Like, and I guess you could even go like super black pill, doomer pill and be like, we're voting for Trump to be an accelerationist, but we can talk about that later. Like, is that like, how do you got to navigate that, and you really got to sit down and think about that. Because you're not only with your political vote are you endorsing the system, you're endorsing, I would say to an extent. I think you can make an argument that you're not endorsing, but I think to an extent you are kind of empowering it. You're giving up some of your autonomy. And then I guess you could also make the argument that you don't really have that much autonomy given that you're constrained. So like, I don't.
And just, I mean, the need to think about it deeply, I think is big. Like, I don't think there is a right answer, but I think there are, it's just a lot to consider. And I forgot what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I think there's right answers. I think that's a good way to phrase that.
Multiple?
Because then that gives the opportunity, it creates the space where like, if you, with your own political will in the electoral system, want to vote for nobody or vote for a third party or whatever, like, I think that provides a little bit more like space to be able to like, I don't want to say like justify your rationale, but like, I'm also like, do you have to?
Yeah.
Like,
and I think too with Trump, he makes it so easy to hate him as a person and as a representation of everything with that hatred. Like, I find that so often, like, I want him out of office. And I think it's so easy to kind of stop there and think like that will be a victory, when really, like, he is not the worst thing about the U.S. So it won't go away if he goes away.
It was like when Trump won, and then Dave Chappelle went on SNL, and they had all those bits where like there was that one bit where he was like the only black person at a white person's party, and all the white people were like, "Oh my God, Trump won," and like, you know, upset, and he's like, "Yeah, there's always an asshole that wins. That's welcome to being black. Everything's a disappointment." Like all the time.
That's really interesting, because I've also been thinking of my own white privilege to not vote for Biden, and I'm like, is that just me saying I don't know, I'm trying to deal with my privilege and be like, I don't feel a huge immediate visceral like effect of either one. Honestly, I feel a lot of indirect effects, but like I'm not as directly affected as some people. And so like, what would I say if I didn't have that privilege? But honestly, I do think that a lot of people would say like, no, Biden's not a victory. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Yeah, it's very personal. It's a very personal thing. And I think at the end of the day, it should be what you feel is right to who you are, and what you think is true should be the way that you vote. And you don't, I think it's worth taking the time to think very deeply about it. But I also think that you shouldn't feel shamed about what you feel is right, because this is your right. Your right is to, like, you have a fundamental right to vote or to not vote, and it's about you and your say and what you want this country to look like.
Unless you're a fascist.
And unless you're a
Then I don't
fascist,
respect you.
then we don't take you.
Wait,
we don't accept you.
So
as a human.
You're telling me that I'm okay with you're saying it's okay that I write in Marianne Williamson for president and vice president.
Yeah.
Okay, just checking.
Because I think at the end of the day, we really just need, like a full scale revolution in terms of, carpet bombing.
Oh my gosh. Oh my god.
Parody.
Yeah, that's good parody.
That's so
Can you
good.
imagine people who don't pick up on sarcasm and are like, what the fuck are they saying? Like, every now and then.
1-800 FBI. Excuse me, officer.
1-800
People are real contradictory.
I mean, that's like, I guess I'm being a little bit like starry-eyed about it. I think because that's how it should be, but
Are you talking about the carpet bombing or the
Jesus?
Yeah, like we should carpet bomb.
That's something to be starry-eyed about, right?
You look up at the sky, you see a bomb.
Do unto others as you would have them do unto you, right? Golden rule.
Do unto others what makes them not do anything anymore.
Ooh.
Once again, Perry.
We're going to have to just interject
We're
it.
getting
Perry.
real, yeah.
Or just cut it.
I think I
we'll
would make
say
it
we'll
very
cut
great.
it, but we won't. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, we're saying that.
I'm trying to say that this is the start of my own election bid to become one of the generals of the leftist revolution. I've been playing a lot of StarCraft, and I'm very ready
self-serving,
for this.
what you're saying.
Oh my goodness. That's funny.
Yeah. Wait, what was I actually trying to say though? I don't remember.
Something about carpet bombing.
Or just like voting based on the best view of ethics you have in the moment. And
yeah.
Yeah.
So like a big thing I've seen is like for alternatives is, I had to look this up real fast. So there's a 5% threshold in elections that it's set by the Federal Election Commission for I believe the party who the candidate belongs to will be eligible for the presidential election campaign fund. So it's about getting them a little bit of funding from the federal government itself to in the next election. So kind of there's been talk basically of, instead of voting Biden, voting for the two. Lazarus has said this already. One of the options is the Party for Socialism and Liberation. Was it? Is that the? And then the other one is,
that's right, PSL.
Another one, and I think it comes a little bit from like an electability kind of viewpoint, is Green Party, because they might have like a statistically better potential to reach the 5% threshold there, but they don't have. It's just like on a historical sense. I think they lean a little bit more towards like the capitalist sort of side of things versus the socialist, which the PSL would be just socialist. I mean, that's part of their platform for sure. Although I have seen like the Green Party is maybe shifting more left with like Green New Deal support and some other stuff like that. I'm not an expert. Go do some research for yourself. Don't take my word for it. But kind of the whole idea is to for the future trying to break away from the two-party, the binary of either, the only candidates you're going to get are going to be from the Democratic Party or the Republican Party, and there needs to be more options there because they obviously have their own interests that they play to, and Bernie was really only technically, he's not even a Democrat really, and he was only even in the party or running in the Democratic election because, like, what other choice does he have really? So that's kind of like what I've seen lately of like trying to get some other third party more visibility, just for the future, because it's like, we're still early, we're still, unfortunately, like as shitty as it is really, we have it's a long road.
Oh god.
Into the future. So
it's
a long bus ride.
It's only April.
And then
this is even looking towards like 2024 at this point.
It always kind of cracks me up, like, especially in talking about like COVID-19, how people just think in terms of like the calendar year, and people are like, January is so far off to be next year. I'm like, what do you think's gonna happen? Like, it'll be January, as if 2021 will like bring great change, maybe, but
yeah. It's funny that I never really got like the point of like the new year. It's like, oh, it's the new year, and it's like it's still Tuesday.
It's just tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yep. Or the school year. I think some people are kind of like under the impression like summer things will be better like in the summer.
Yeah. I still have to go to work.
Yeah.
I don't. What's the big deal, you guys?
There'll be mosquitoes.
This year is my best year.
Maybe mosquitoes will carry COVID-19. That'll help your starry-eyedness.
Oh god.
Think about that.
Oh, I will. I'll dream about it. I dream of COVID mosquitoes. I don't know why. I don't know why I had to shorten mosquitoes. My brain is a little tired.
Yeah, mine too.
Me too.
We always got to end on a down note.
Yeah, what's better than
it's like
COVID carrying mosquitoes?
Yeah.
Maybe they won't. Maybe mosquitoes do not carry COVID-19.
We know that puppies don't.
Yeah. Okay, let's end on that. Puppies do not carry the
wasn't-
coronavirus. Oh, do they?
That is true.
Wasn't there like a tiger that tested positive in the New York Zoo?
Unfortunately, yes.
So my question is, who the fuck had a spare COVID-19 test kit and be like, hey, let's swab their fucking tonsil instead of letting some other person like do it?
Yeah. How did a tiger get tested before me?
Damn you, Joe Exotic!
I thought we were ending on a positive note.
Oh.
Puppies.
Yeah.
Oh wait.
That's not enough. Not enough.
You know what?
Gotta do better than that.
Okay, so the positive note, puppies don't have coronavirus. I have a dog here that I love. She's so old and fragile, and I pick her up, and she's so dainty and small and tiny. And I love to get right in her little smooshy face, and I'm like, "You're so cute," and she just gives me this look like, "Why the fuck am I putting up with you right now?"
Oh, I saw a beagle yesterday. I had a beagle for about 10 years, and they are obnoxious little food thieves, but I love beagles. And
they have nice floppy ears.
They do. Mm-hmm. My beagle was the most beautiful beagle in the world, too. I've never seen as beautiful of a beagle. Mm. No one will ever see one as beautiful as her.
Oh.
Yeah.
I love beagles.
Not that it's a contest.
I wanted a beagle for a long time. It is a contest.
She wins.
Everything's a contest.
In this capitalist society. Yeah.
Oh god, no, wait.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah.
Puppies? No.
Puppies. Yeah.
Okay. That's it for our podcast, everybody. Please feel free to leave a comment, reach us on Twitter. We could be found, believe the Twitter is PSTpod, at PSTpod. You can follow me specifically, Lucy at PST Lucy on Twitter. Find us on Patreon. And be sure to help us out there. Buy us some coffee. You could just visit our website, which is publicspacetravel.cool. Yeah, share this with your friends.
You could find me having Twitter tantrums at
Oh yeah, I've noticed that.
Yeah, I've said some things. At PST in the Shadows.
That's right. At PST in the Shadows. That's our shadow
I told
producer.
the DNC to eat shit and die. I was having a moment.
I support it.
I support it.
Spicy takes. Again, if you need an outlet, make an anonymous Twitter account and use Praxis and shout expletives at the person you hate. It's not healthy, probably, but it helps momentarily. But not as much as a puppy does. A puppy will get you farther. I'll say that.
Or an older dog, too, I will say. There's also older dogs needing homes. So.
Yeah. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Older dogs are also very much worth the love.
Oh, like your little fragile one.
I call every dog a puppy.
Oh, she's so fragile. I'm gonna go smush her face.
Every dog is a puppy. That's a hot take.
Every dog is
so.
A puppy.
Just real quick before we sign off, I totally had an experience where I'm like, "Oh my gosh, your puppy's so cute," and they're like, "It's not a puppy. It's like it's grown up." And I'm like, I didn't say it, but in my mind I was just like, I just wanted to whisper in the dog ear, like, "You're still a puppy."
People still called my dog a puppy when she was 7 because she looked like a puppy and she was a puppy. So.
Thank you.
Yes.
Once a puppy, always a puppy.
It's true.
You weren't like, you don't deserve her.
You deserve someone who calls you a puppy.
Does the once a puppy, always a puppy still pan out with like the kink of pup play?
What?
No, wait, what? No. No more tangents.
Okay, right. All right. Thanks for listening.
Food for thought.
Children.
Okay.
Children. Thanks, everybody. We'll talk to you later. Bye.
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 Public space travel.